Today we're at the Grand Floridian for the Grand Floridian Cafe for breakfast. You may have seen my last day in the theme parks, and now we're going to enjoy a few meals in some of the resorts. It does seem to be far less crowded in the resorts, nice and accessible, and would love to try some new foods. Let's check that out here today. There is the Grand Floridian ahead of us. You may be able to tell I'm using the bigger camera today. Plus, since it will be a pretty slow, calm paced day, it's nice to kind of use the bigger camera, show you those high quality images, and see if I'm able to work on my arm stabilization, where the GoPro takes care of that work for me. Today might also include a little bit of coverage of the Grand Floridian as well. Since we're here, we'll of course enjoy delicious food. One of my favorite things is delicious food, but to be able to enjoy some of the views. It really is a beautiful resort. If you hadn't taken the time to explore it in the past, we'll be able to share some of that with you here today. Entering the Grand Floridian space, you've got the monorails area above us as we make our way towards the entrance. Really do love this kind of grand feel. Very white buildings, structures, designs, formals, classics from over the years. So I always love this feel as we make our way in. Welcome back to the lobby of the Grand Floridian. You may have seen me do a couple of different videos from the Grand Floridian, including that new bar, that Beauty and the Beast bar review, the Enchanted Rose. But here's the lobby right now. Not many people, as you can see, so nice to be able to enjoy, relax some of these views and appreciate the atmosphere. Just look at the beautiful decorations before we eat. Making our way through the lobby area, you'll see a variety of different types of seating arrangements, chairs, benches, couches. So really, whatever kind of seating you might be comfortable with, you can find here. Another thing I normally love at the Grand Floridian is the live music. There's a piano set up over here, and sometimes on a stage, whether it's on that side or on the other side of the Grand Floridian, you might see some other live musicians playing, whether it's trombones or trumpets or other instruments. Kind of a whole group band thing going on sometimes. I like that style too. Walking down this hall, you'll make your way to the lobby of the Grand Floridian Cafe. You've got 1900 Park Fair currently closed up, but the Grand Floridian Cafe is open, and you can see the beautiful decorations on the floor and beautiful decorations on the ceiling, in addition to the lighting coming in from outside. Really love that open feel, those bright windows, in addition to that white design. Inside the Grand Floridian Cafe, you can see we're walking towards the back, but kind of the stylization of these chairs. And look at that, some owls as we make our way back. Lots of animals in here, which, I mean, who doesn't love animals, am I right? Taking a look at the mobile order menu. That's kind of the new process now. Avocado toast could be a potential option. A variety of unique salads here. The steak and eggs, grand breakfast. We heard the eggs Benedict could be good. Even a lobster eggs Benedict, maybe. So we'll have to take a look here and figure out what sounds the best. But nice to see a variety of options here for breakfast. The buttermilk biscuits at the Grand Floridian Cafe. It looks really good. They're a little small, but nice kind of way to start us off here. I'd say it's probably about the size of like my hand, kind of as a fist, but not like the fist direction, but the other direction. If I'm playing rock, paper, scissors, they're about the size of like the fist that way. And then you've got those little things of butter. You've got orange butter and regular butter. Looks fantastic, really flavorful looking. Let's try. The buttermilk biscuits are good. I would say the orange butter is my favorite in terms of the butter options. It is very strong orange flavor, but I like the kind of combo. Look for those orange pieces in the butter if you want a really strong orange flavor. The ever flavorful lobster eggs Benedict. You can see the lobster rolling out from on top of those English muffins with that casserole on the side. Our server recommended the casserole on the side as opposed to the salad, and it sounded delicious. Cheesy casserole, I think. Looking forward to trying that. Overall, I love the way that the lobster eggs Benedict is cooked. The consistency of that from the English muffin, nice and crispy, all the way up through the flakiness of the lobster. But I don't feel that it's as flavorful as I was expecting for a seafood dish And for a seafood lover, you'd expect more of a kick, whether it's on that egg front or the lobster front. I feel like for flavor, this one is pretty good, but the consistency is very well done. If I were choosing between the two, I would say that Wave Eggs Benedict is #1, far superior. But I love the concept here and the unique flavoring. And that casserole, similarly, not as flavorful as I would expect good, but there are a lot of fantastic places to try a world full of flavors. And I'm not sure I would try these two again. I want to give it maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Michael, your thoughts on the meal so far?
It's good. It is good, but the flavor is just not there. I totally agree with you in terms of that. It is cooked well. You nailed that 100%. Don't think I'd get it again just because the flavor's not there. And especially when you compare it to Eggs Benedict at the Wave, the contemporary, you can't compare it. You cannot compare this to that. It's just lacking flavor, in my opinion.
As we make our way out of the Grand Floridian Cafe, a look at some of the other decorations on the opposite walls, like this horse. After breakfast, we're just kicking back and relaxing in the lobby, which we did share a little bit with you earlier, but just showing you more of these chairs and this lamp where we're seated presently as we kick back, relax, and just enjoy the post-breakfast atmosphere. We are now talking about going on the monorail. I haven't been back on the monorail since reopening, so maybe it'd be nice to check out. Look at the basketball gear here by the Mouse Mercantile. You've got the lounge fly bags there, basketball material, this cool tank top, all kinds of cool stuff. Funko Pop basketball Mickey. I like it.
Awesome, good to go.
Thank you. Here on the monorail station, looks like maybe we follow this line down in this direction. Walking up to the front now, and we get assigned our seat by that cast member. Okay, directs us down that way, and they will put us in a seat in a booth. We have our own space. I like the style. So here's our bin, and to Dave's comfort and pleasant surprise, our own booth for now. Wow, such a long time since I've been on the monorail. So nice to be back on it with these increased safety procedures. We've got our own little booth right here. You can maybe see the Magic Kingdom off there in the distance, as well as the lake, contemporary. I love this wall, and I really do feel especially comfortable with nobody in the chairs across from us. Might be comfortable, might be okay, even with those people on the bench across from us. Might just not be drinking my drink then, but overall, I think they've designed this really well to keep the monorails safe. Passing by the Magic Kingdom on the monorail, taking a stop here to just look around and see what the parks look like from the outside. Really interesting dynamic where it's not too crowded by the transportation like the monorail, but then inside you can see maybe the crowds pick up a little bit more. Really interesting kind of setup and design there. Back on the monorails, I think this is the black one with a red trim going on, and you can see, I feel like this looks a little bit different. It looks like the inside benches and trim are a little bit darker, at least the bench for the black monorail here. Didn't realize that some of them were designed a little bit differently internally, but nice to see as we move on past the Magic Kingdom. You can see what those walkways look like walking up to the monorail, in addition to those boats and oh, some of that construction back there. See these boats as people are making their way to the parks, and just the beautiful views from the monorail. Something to really appreciate, and an attraction outside the parks, and to me, one of the most comfortable, accessible attractions right now because of all this space you get. You get your own bench and maybe another party across from you, but we're 2 for 2 now with no other parties across from us, so it seems like a nice quiet time for us to catch the monorail. And that concludes today's adventure to the Grand Floridian, but more adventures to come in terms of some foodie stuff and so much more. Keep your eyes open for those. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay informed of future adventures, and thank you so much for being a part of it with me. Until next time, play on. Want to test that out, share a different perspective with you, plus since it'll be a pretty slow, calm paced day, today might also include a little bit of coverage of the Grand and the lighting on the ceiling, in addition to the beautiful lighting coming in. Overall, I love the way that the lobster, what is this called? Eggs Benedict. If I were choosing between the two, I've got to say that Wave English Muck. If I were choosing between the two, I would say that. Look at the NBA merchandise here by the entrance of Mickey's Mercantile. Is that what it's called? You can see, I feel like this looks a little bit different.
Welcome to Monorail Black. For your safety, please remain seated at all times. They can have a magical day.